Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the newspaper review, where we analyze all of the stories that made front page in some of the dailies that we have with us today. And of course, on the paper review, we try to analyze all of them for you to get, to understand and have an insight into everything that is going on in the country as of today. 4 papers we have for you, and it will be our job to make sure that you get to understand all of it in full. And yes, I said our job because I am not alone. My name is Uche Okore.
Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Ayodeji Ajiboye here this morning. Here to tell you about everything happening in Nigeria and across the globe as well on the newspaper review on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Let's go straight into it.
Going straight to the papers this morning. Remember, you can always be a part of the conversation. 0907-224-5018. 0907-224-5018. That's the number you can contact us on. And you can be part of our social media family. How you can do that: on X, FKA, Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok at impact1021FM. That is HR Impact 1021 FM. On Facebook, our Impact Radio 102.1 FM, and on YouTube it is our Impact 102.1 FM. That is HR Impact 102.1 FM. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification button so you know whenever we are live right here in the studio. Straight to the papers that we have this morning. We will be starting with the Daily Trust. And the Daily Trust is going with the big one for me because I think this has already been in the news for so long and everyone acted like it didn't happen. But now it's back in our face again. And it's talking about LG funds. And it says after 1 year, nothing has changed. It has a rider to it. It says council received 3.408 trillion naira through state governments in 11 months. Right here on that front page, you get to see some sort of data for all of the 774 local government areas and the amount they received for the 11 month by month, the amount that they got. And this is not coming anytime too late because we know there's going to be local government elections tomorrow in Lagos State. Tomorrow is going to be a big one. Anyways, but the thing about this particular story is the fact that this administration signed into law the local government autonomy. And with that, everyone thought it was the birth of something new in terms of government at the local level. Everyone expected a difference because we've always gotten this whole info growing up and learning government in school that the closest person to which you can pass information, to which you can pass your problems to in terms of governance is at the locality, talking about the councillors and talking about the local government chairman. And it has not been working the way we expect in so long because many Nigerians feel like, can you really talk to your local government chairman? Those people are just answering to the governors at the end of the day. Is there really anything they can do when they are just giving handouts and say, okay, used to do so, whatever, however it's done? I really do not know. But local government autonomy was something that we felt, oh, this is a game changer. This is something that gives the money directly to the local government itself, and thereby the chairman is answerable financially to nobody but his constituents, his people, in terms of the money given to him and how he used it judiciously. Of course, he can be investigated by financial crimes and all of that. He's answerable to the state, to the laws and all of that, no doubt about it. But in terms of money, he's the all and all of it all. He gets the money. He uses it for what it's meant to be used for. And then now, 11 months later, we're still seeing situation whereby it's not happening the way we expect all of this to happen, because now this same local government have not received money directly from the CBN, which at one certain time, I remember the CBN, talking about opening how the local governments will, open accounts, the steps and the process at which they will open their accounts and get to receive their money directly. We saw situations where governors took the case to court. It went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, stamped it that local government autonomy is here to stay, and all of that. Everything went wave. So the question is, why is it not functioning? Was it just a smoke screen? Is it just something that was just given to the people as hopes, but far from them at the end of the day? Because it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. It will be difficult for you to criticize the people and say, you people do not participate in governance. You don't go meet your local government chairman. You don't go. When at the end of the day, most of these local government chairmen are just stooges for the government or for the governors. Because at the end of the day, it's what the governors say they should do, that they do. Because obviously, I'm your paymaster. You have to do what I say you do. But if the money comes directly to them, we can easily go to them and say, hey, you were given so amount of money for Alimosho local government area to, you've given so amount of money for the Korodu local government area. What exactly have you done with those money? But it's not happening that way. And it just seemed like, yet again, in Nigeria today, we make policies perfect on papers, but we never get to practice those policies. And it's a really, really sad one. It's really, really sad. Hopefully things change soon. Hopefully things change, because...
one thing about this local government issue is the fact that, just like you rightly mentioned, most and many of the so-called local government chairmen are, should I say, they are rather appointed and not elected. I stand to be corrected. But many of them are appointed and not elected. It's far from the fact that these people are properly being put in that place by the masses themselves. So yes, there's going to be loyalty, and most definitely it's not going to be at the same proportion. The level of loyalty that we have to the governors and people who put them in charge is going to be much more than what they are going to be giving to the people that this thing is affecting directly. Take a look at the statistics that we have right here. I mean, I think it was only this month that they received less funds in the last couple of months. What we are having here is about 153, which is of course lesser to what they got in April. But all of this month, there's no time they've collected anything less than 100 billion.
Man, it's huge money. And talking about them being selected and not elected,
or let's say appointed,
yes, and not elected. I think tomorrow is going to be another day to find out, because sometime I believe we'll have to say maybe it's not completely true, because an election will take place of different parties, and at the end of the day the people will go out to make their choice. But maybe in their local primaries, there might be selection. We heard accusations of a certain political party right here in Lagos, where there were accusations that the primary didn't take place and appointments were made.
Even where the primary took place, I know someone very close who said he had to step down because of loyalty to the party, because of
they all still
the cream that are cream in the party asked him to, because of course he won the primaries flawlessly. But he's too young and they are not sure he's going to carry out their agenda the way they want it, so they wanted someone who is more vast than
probably that's what he thinks was in mind. But anyways, we heard all of these rumors that happened, but let's just say the people of Lagos has it in their table to go out tomorrow to decide.
Big day tomorrow, if you
Yeah,
ask me. Very
to-
big one.
To decide who they want to vote for and who they hope will be in charge of their local government areas. But all of this do not matter at the end of the day if the local government doesn't have its autonomy.
Yeah.
Because even if we want to think those parties are selected or maybe appointed or whatever, if there's an autonomy, even if they're appointed or selected, you will see someone who's going to go rogue because he knows there's no direct link to me and the governor in terms of financial ability to do what I am supposed to do. And when that does not exist, I don't think you have anything over anybody, especially when it comes to state governance and local governance, because that money gives you that freedom.
Yeah.
Anyways, other part of the stories right here on the front page of the Daily Trust. Try to go through them as fast as we can. How Adoke stopped Jonathan from removing me as governor. This one is coming from Shetima. We saw that video yesterday talking about how, when he was about to be removed from governor, it was made pop and plain that it was illegal for the president, a sitting president, to try to remove. I think he mentioned one position first and foremost, more or less an elected governor. But where did you see that happen recently? Oh, anyways, I move on. Moving on. Underneath that one, bandits abduct palace administrators, burn houses in Plateau community. You find that story on page 25. Beside that one, Senate removes Natasha as diaspora committee chair. That story you find on page 10. Someone else has been appointed. Another lady too. So hey, in case you want to find out who that is, it is on page 10. FCTA arrests 210 beggars in Abuja. Page 34 is where that story is. This is as the FCTA continues its clampdown on what it calls public nuisance and on the streets of Abuja. There are rumors that there's intention to clamp down on those who are seen publicly begging, defacing, like they claim, the FCT. And it's sad. It's sad that these things happen, but I think there's more that can be done for them rather than just pack them and, as the allegations go, sent back to their states of origin and all of that. I think more can be done, especially for those ones who are capable to do all of these things. I'm only more pissed when I see people who are completely operational in terms of being physically able to do things, and you see them litter everywhere. It's in Lagos here too, and you see them litter everywhere in the society, just begging for alms and all of that. It makes no sense. That I could understand, but what about these ones who are not capable of physically doing things? People who have their hands cut off, their legs. And we know the Nigerian society that we are in today. It is not easy for physically challenged persons to have jobs, to have other source of income apart from begging for alms.
Many times they are even being discriminated. Yeah, there's a bit of discrimination. You see it play out in your very eyes, and then you'll be like, oh my, what's wrong? Why are you doing this to this person? You should at least take pity on his or her condition. But it is what it is, really. I do mention it every now and then, that we need to be more kind with ourselves. Kindness is the coolest thing you can ever show to another human being, because they need it.
Well, let's hope something is done about that one. But it seems it's a charge that the FCTA has right now with its new administration, and there's no going back. Military airstrikes kill many terrorists in Zamfara, Kebbi. That one you find on page 10. Good news. Wins for the Nigerian security agencies. Amidst high electricity cost, varsities, health facilities yet to get subsidy. We find this one on page 6. This broke the news a couple of months ago, talking about important sectors getting subsidy. I remember the Minister of Power, Delabo, talking
Bayo
about that.
Adelabu.
And I think it was you and I on the show where we, commended how good that is, because I think that time we saw universities that were owing as much as millions and millions of naira in terms
For
of electricity, and we felt like, oh no, it makes no sense.
This is too much on them.
It's too much. There needs to be sectors that are subsidized because they need it. They really, really do need it. And the health sector and the education sector was one. It was as if the Minister of Power was listening, and it was like, I think we need to do.
Because at that time there was also the uproar from a lot of people, especially from the University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital, their power outages every now and then.
And so all these things, we felt, this is the minister being proactive. But there's a couple of months down the line, we're half into this year already. We're in the second half of the year kicking.
Third quarter.
And it's, the third quarter has started already. And still yet, there's no subsidy for the schools. Still yet, there's no subsidy for these health facilities. And it means so much money still going down. It means there are so many hospitals that still do not have power. Let's be honest with ourselves. So many of them. It means so many of the students in schools still go to bed burning candlelights, literally. That proverbs, it came from like way in the past where they really had only candles. That's why they tell you to burn the candle. Burn the candle. Because it came at a time where
if you want to succeed, you have to burn the candles.
I get it. But that proverb came at a time where electricity didn't exist. But literally, it's been still done in Nigeria.
Even now that we have electricity
everywhere in 2025,
there's solar power.
There's solar. We have every means of getting power, but yet the Nigerian students in 2025 are still literally burning candles every night. There are some societies that don't think candles exist anymore.
Maybe
scented candles to put in their rooms is what they use it for now.
Candle is candle. At least you see the light on it. You see the light dangling. Candle is
but
candle.
You know what I mean.
Either scented or the normal candle that you use the light of your room.
That's true. That's true. Anyways, but it's sad. Shetima visits Buhari in London. This is as we heard the former president is receiving some sort of treatment, or probably he's way better now, as we do not have.
He's under the weather.
We do not have full information
as to what's happening to him.
What's happening to him? So that's the much we can take for the Daily Trust this morning.
And away from the Daily Trust newspaper, we'll go straight into the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Our top story on the Vanguard newspaper is the visa war that has just begun between our very own Nigeria and
it's a visa war.
I don't think it's a war brewing already, because there's been a bit of back and forth between both parties since the president of the United States mentioned that particular one. It came like, honestly, I saw it as a decree and not like a statement. Like, you know what, with immediate effect. It's not even like giving months where people would say, let me rush and do what I want to do. Like, starting from this minute, this is what you should be doing, not just to the all Africans, Nigerians. Okay, let me tell you more about it in case you missed that story. The federal government, however, are now explaining the stance as the United States slams tighter measures. Okay, right after that story is saying 5-year non-immigrant multiple entry visa for US citizens is still in place. So if you are a citizen, you can still get the multiple entry visa that is going to last you for 5 years. But then there's a 90-day single entry visa validity period, which applies only to newly introduced e-visas. 90 days, that's 2 months.
3 months.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I beg your pardon, 3 months. 3 month single entry. You go in, you spend 3 months, you're going back again, you have to reapply. You have to go through the whole process over again. And if luck shines on you, you get through the second time, and then they don't say, what are you bringing to the table? Because I think that's the main reason why this is happening. What are you bringing to the table? Another writer says, United States introduces fresh $250 visa integrity fee for tourists, students, and workers. Visa integrity fee, guys. people are already paying so much for visa application, and this is a fresh one. And I mean, in case you do not know, if your visa is not approved, the money you've paid is
It's gone, and that's what affects my mentality most times.
gone.
I feel like, yes, I understand that you guys need to collect money for visa fees, and I understand what all of that is all about. But if you're not offering me this visa,
yeah.
why not just give it back to me? And I think I try to think it's a means at which they extort Africans.
Well, some
My
people are saying that
personal opinion.
Nigerians also collect visa application fees from other nationalities.
Of course. I'm not sticking to only
Yeah, yeah.
the European nations and not saying Nigerians too. I feel for all countries that say visa fee, as long as you're not giving that person that visa,
Return my money.
give back their money.
Why me?
We've seen Africans, so many of them. I've met friends that have spent millions in Naira.
This fresh $250, if you like, let's say the rate of dollar is 1,500, that's going to be like 375,000 naira, bruv.
Man, I've met friends who have spent close to millions in plans and everything, and at the end of the day, they don't get visa. So imagine
Back to square one.
Back to square one. So
Back to rebuild.
imagine the life that everything that happens. So sometimes it's supposed to be like a ticket for getaway, and if the getaway doesn't work, can I just have my money back and just move on? But I don't even really care that much. All I'm more interested in is Africa needs to take its place
Yeah.
and do better.
I mean, we saw the news the other day when the president of the US was asking one of our very own.
I don't want to go to how condescending that is.
That can be, and they
I
are
want to
and they are
go
there. They're smacking. They're
What were
smiling.
they supposed to do?
Man.
What were they supposed to do?
Okay, away from that story, let's not be the source of our friends on the show this morning. That particular story I mentioned now is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Visa war. Federal government explains stance as United States slams tighter measures. Above the nameplate of the Vanguard newspaper this morning says Shettima to APC, PDP, ADC, NNPP. We are all one. Okay, I mean, of course, we do know that you guys are one. The only thing that separates you is the party you are representing, the party you want to, rule from. That is the only difference that you people have. I mean, outside of politics or outside of the face of a lot of Nigerians, most of you are friends. There's no two ways about it. It is only someone who is ignorant or a layman that wants to believe that maybe two politicians are having loggerheads with each other. Most times I believe that these things are just for the gram.
Oh well, I tend to believe so many times it is personal, but the truth of the matter is their interest always supersede their personal feelings at the end of the day. So once their interest aligns, personal feelings dies. So it's one thing you will notice, but if that they don't have animosity between themselves, sometimes they do. They do. You look at the likes of Wike and Amechi, you see how things went. But if their interest aligns in the nearest future,
nearest future is far. Tomorrow it can happen.
well, tomorrow is the nearest future.
Yeah.
Too. Well, if their interest aligns, who knows what would happen? You look at the likes of Dino Melaye and his other counterpart in Kogi State.
Yeah.
Some of all these things are personal, but the truth of the matter is their interest supersedes any personal.
But we can say like this thing happens in 1 of 10. It's not like a general thing.
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not close to them.
All right. For more on the story, check out page 26 of the Vanguard newspaper. Right in front of that, you have Tinubu's reforms boosting economic recovery. And that's from the federal government. Tinubu's reforms boosting economic recovery. And that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. And right to Edo State, Okpebolo declares new era for Edo as Supreme Court affirms mandate. Okpebolo declares new era for Edo as Supreme Court confirms the mandate, and that story is on page 7. And from the business page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, it says federal government to borrow 1.76 trillion through treasury bill sales in quarter 3 of this year. Federal government still to borrow 1.76 trillion through treasury bills in Q3 of 2025. More of that story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And away from that, we go straight to the big image on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. This one is talking about the NDDC and the cultural festival that took place yesterday. You can see images of the creme de la creme and the governing body of the NDDC, which is currently being led by Mr. Chiedu Ebie. Right there, you also have the managing director, Dr. Samuel, who was also in attendance yesterday. And beneath the image on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, this one is saying, 2027. ADC will dislodge Tinubu and APC. That one is coming from Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. I was going to say Arakunrin. My mind is going to the former governor of Ondo State, that Rotimi Akeredolu, but he is Ogbeni, by the way. Ogbeni Aregbesola is saying ADC will dislodge Tinubu. The ADC that is currently maybe having a court case as to whether or not they will continue in that party. I'll wait to see how that one is going to pan out. And the writer tweet is saying, vows not to sideline state chairman. Utomi also backs the coalition. Don't forget that Aregbesola is currently the vice chairman of that particular secretary, I beg your pardon, secretary of that particular party. Away from it says, again, Elders kill 4 policemen, NSCDC officers in Benue ambush. Oh, here we go again. Elders kill 4 policemen, NSCDC officers in Benue ambush. That story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And right in front of you, I also have, if not for Tinubu, Buhari wouldn't have won APC primaries. That is coming from the presidency. If not for Tinubu, Buhari wouldn't have won the APC primary. That's coming through from the president. I think this is a forgotten story already. Let's not do much of. We have a whole lot on our hands right now, than to still be talking about the 8 years of the President Muhammadu Buhari.
Well, this has been a back and forth for 2 days now. You hear people who served on the. I think it started the day before yesterday, where they talked about Tinubu being the reason why Buhari was president. Then the back and forth started. Then we heard people who were in the administration of Buhari coming out.
There was also one of his assistants who was on national TV and was telling a journalist to free me. Was it free me or shut up? He said something like that. And I mean, I so much loved the way the whole thing panned out. Bro, I invited you to my show. You are my guest. So if you ask me to get out, I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be here with you.
I'll still be here. You'll be the one to leave the show at the end of the day. But, things like that, the back and forth, it just goes to show probably there is something happening between two parties that we really do not know about. At least the two camps. It might not be between the individuals themselves, the big dogs themselves, but in their camp, obviously there's something going on. And I think maybe part of the reasons why Shettima is in London to go see him is probably to dye some of those tensions that people might be thinking maybe there is no unity between the Buhari camp and the Tinubu camp. The vice president being there means probably there is enough unity in their camp, and it probably is just some disgruntled staff members, making talks here and there. So let's see how that one pans out in the nearest future. The beauty about politics is we're going to see everything unfold.
Yeah, definitely. Right before our eyes.
Everything is going to unfold.
And away from that story, this last story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper says Senate sacks Natasha Uduaghan as committee chairman. Well, she's going to come back to the House. Some things are going to change.
Well,
definitely some things are going to change, and first of it is the fact that they are sacking her as committee chairman
of the diaspora committee. Anyways, good luck to her. She was supposed to be back on Tuesday. It got postponed due to we're waiting for
it. It was on Monday. I said I did mention it on Monday, like we'll see what's going to happen during the plenary, if it's going to be that Tuesday or it's going to be moved forward, or maybe they will still have to adjourn it or put another date to it again. I mean, this is Nigeria.
Let's say I think they're waiting for the apology, which the court asked for, and I believe some of all those things are supposed to happen before every other thing happens. So let's just see how all this pans out.
Okay.
From that paper, we move to the last paper of the day, the Punch newspaper. Try to take it as quick as we can. Look at top stories there. We see autonomy standoff. Governors get 4.5 trillion naira LG funds 1 year after Supreme Court ruling. We talked about that one earlier on. It has a couple of riders, so you need to go look at that one for you to find out. Above the nameplate, Buhari government went after my allies post 2015 election. This is according to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Go look at that story on page 9 of the Punch newspaper for you to have all of its detail. Beside it, NNPC refineries may never work again. That's according to Dangote. Well, coming from someone who, give praises to the president a couple of days ago about how, important he has been in all this. That's not news that anyone should be happy about. You do not need Dangote being the autonomous supplier of fuel in Nigeria. The NNPC needs to be very active.
It's not spelling
for so many things that so many people were talking about before all this came in place. So many things is going to happen in the coming years. A statement like this is why so many people were wary at first in the coming years. Anyways, corrupt politicians using crypto wallets to launder money. EFCC chair. Page 7 is where you find that one. Underneath that one, Nigerians reject U.S. push to accept Venezuelan deportees. That's according to Tuga. Is this reason why the visa issues is going on? Anyways, other stories you find right here on the front page of the Punch. Igodalo angry as Tinubu governors praise Okpebolo's court victory. Well, page 8 is where that one is. I think an end to that Edo story has been fixed by the Supreme Court. So it's safe to say Okpebolo has no challenge, at least until he's done with his 4 years mandate. Other stories right here. 3-year-old boy dies inside Lagos Soccerway. Page 4 and page 5 is where that story is. And finally, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, and of course the final story of the day, and yes, it's intentional to be the final story of, of the day. This has to do with the Lagos State government poll happening tomorrow, and it says last year says ballot snatching will trigger by-elections. Ballot snatching will trigger by-elections.
Straight to it. There are no two ways. You snatch a ballot or conduct another one.
Well, what they're trying to say is wherever ballot snatching is proven to have happened, whatever location, whatever voting unit
or ward
or polling unit, I believe it's going to be the polling unit or something, because if it's going to be the entire ward and it happened in one polling unit, are you going to cancel the entire ward's election or something? I do not know the basics at which LASIEC is doing this, but when I read into it, was they said where it happened there will be a by-election. So I don't know if it's the ward or the polling units they meant. With that said, it's important that LASIEC, the security organizations, and Lagosians at large know how important the elections is tomorrow. In as much as we do understand that the local government autonomy has not kicked off, and we do understand that these persons are just, in one way or the other, people who will still receive money from the governor of the day, at least until the local government autonomy kicks off. But it's important we take it so vital, because the Supreme Court has already kicked off the local government autonomy, so you just don't know. Next month, it might start working in full capacity, and it's why it's important we choose wisely who is going to be the local government chairman, and that's for the people. It means you need to go outside and make sure you exercise your franchise. Do not think it's because it's just local government elections is not important, blah 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 blah. It is actually important. It is actually the most important part of elections, because now they target you directly. These are the people that have access to you. These are the people you have direct governance access to, and for your, the things that you want for your locality to take place. So it's important you go out and make sure that you vote and make sure your vote counts. It's also important for the security agencies to make sure that everywhere is safe. It's important for the security agencies to understand that whatever happens also affects them at the end of the day, because yes, they are security agents, but they're also ordinary citizens living in every locality. So whatever they do at the end of the day also in turn affects them one way or the other. So I wish Lagosians good luck tomorrow, and I wish every single Nigeria a beautiful weekend. My name is
Lagosian.
Uche
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right,
You
until
have the floor
Lagosians,
now.
once again, please don't forget that there's going to be restriction from 3 a.m.